there, it's Andy with Reverb. Today I want to tackle one of the most asked questions in guitar geardom, and that's what's the difference between chorus and flange? Actually, it's more of a question of how similar are chorus and flange, because you'll find out soon enough that they're both time-based effects that share a lot of similarities. So let's start with the effect that actually happens naturally, and that's chorus. Whether it's tuning up your 12-string and hearing those B or E strings interact with each other, or singing in a chorus with everyone singing the same part. You'll hear a doubling effect, and this is actually why chorus was invented in the first place, to make one guitar sound bigger and more three-dimensional. Then you have your guitar signal in this case, and you're doubling that with a delay device, whether it's analog or digital. And the actual delay times are very small. In this case, it's around 20 milliseconds. Then you modulate that signal, going back and forth. Here's a great visual representation with some old lexicon gear. You could actually see the delay time moving around 20 milliseconds to give that lush chorusing effect. Now the flanger pedal came about first, and this was really not so much about doubling, but to recreate an effect that happened earlier in the studio. And that was where an engineer would take two tape decks with the same music on each one, and he'd slow one down just minutely by putting his hand on the flange of the tape reel. But what happened is that at a certain point, the two sources would meet up and have what's called through-zero flanging, where you'd have total phase cancellation, where the two sine waves are on top of each other, effectively giving you no signal. It's this modulating between that state in and out of it where the flange effect came about. And actual through-zero flanging in pedal form is a completely different subject, and this really didn't come about until recently with pedals like the Pyramids or Mr. Black's Tunnel Worm. So how does that compare to a chorus pedal, you're probably asking? Well, you still have that modulated double signal, but this time the delay time comes as close as you can to zero. And you've probably seen a feedback or regeneration knob on a flanger, and that's because the intensity of the flanger comes when you feed part of the signal back into itself and create all those jet plane swooshing sounds. To really drive the point home that delay time really determines the difference between chorus and flanger, I've grabbed my old DoD chorus pedal, which is one of the rare vintage pedals that gives you control over the delay time. I'll start with a long setting for that classic chorus sound, and then speed it up, and you'll notice it's an awful lot like flange without any feedback. Now knowing that a chorus has a longer delay time than a flanger, let's adjust the delay on our Earthquaker device's Pyramids to sound like a chorus, and this is easily done by adjusting the manual knob. On the Walrus Julia, I have it set up for a classic chorus tone, taking that lag or delay time all the way to the right for its longest setting for a nice lush sound. Well, there's Chorus and Flanger in a nutshell, two time-based effects. Thanks for watching this Tone Tips series, and be sure to leave some comments below on what you'd like to see covered next. See you next time.